Seattle Storm just played against the Seattle Storm. Just played against Chicago Sky. That's who we're talking about. I do apologize. It's currently 4:18 in the morning. I've been up all night and I got to record another video talking about the Dallas Mavericks game. So I do apologize for that, but we're going to be breaking down the Chicago Sky's game, and they have lost their winning record. They are now 2-3. They are no longer again, their record's a hell of a lot better than the Fevers, but it's still 2-3, even though there are a lot of positive signs. Honestly, with both teams, there are some negatives, but a lot of positive signs. And obviously, they are probably the two most popular teams right now, other than the Aces, mainly because of the two stars in Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark on those teams. Before we get on to it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are literally less than 2,000 off, or 200 off 4,000 subscribers. So if we could hit that, that would be absolutely insane. If we could hit that by the end of the month, that would be unbelievable. But anyway, now let's get on to the video. So the game today between the Sky and the Seattle Storm, it was as big a test for the Sky as they faced. Because again, teams are not going to make it easy for them. And all of their games have been close. Their win was close against the New York Liberty. Their win against the Dallas Wings was close. Their loss against the Dallas Wings was close. And obviously their loss against the Connecticut Sun was close. I keep calling them the Phoenix Suns, but the Connecticut Sun. But yeah, so today's game, they were there or thereabouts in the first half. Angel Reese rebounding unbelievably well. To start the game, she was just killing it on the offensive glass. As far as her points are concerned, it wasn't anything too crazy, but she had 10 boards in the first half. That's crazy. She had I think it was 9 or most boards. Because I know 12 was her season high for rebounds, but 6 coming on the offensive end. And even times she didn't get the offensive board, she just, every time a shot goes up, she's a threat to get that offensive board. She is the best offensive rebounder in the entire NBA. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. She is the best offensive rebounder in the WNBA. If I have got the W or NBA at any stages, I am very sorry. I am tired. But she does that at an absolutely elite rate. When we're looking at the Seattle Storm, Skylar Diggins had by far her best game of the year. She hit a clutch shot down a stretch and at 21 points. It was the top scorer on either team. Nobody in the Sky scored more than 13. But Skylar Diggins has not been playing well for a while, but as the year goes on, she's going to be better. The Storm, probably not contenders, but I wouldn't be that surprised. When a team has got, when a team's got Jewel Lloyd, Skylar Diggins, Neko Wimwake, and I've genuinely, off the top of my head, forgot the name. They're one of the best bigs in the WNBA as well. Completely Magbador. When they've got them, that lineup, they're going to be really, really good with those 4 players. And that's the thing. There's only 12 teams in the league, so teams are gonna have all-star lineups and not win because maybe they're not the Aces. Either way, the Ace of 3 players averaging 20. But for the Sky, look, they didn't shoot well. They dug themselves a 19-point deficit. Mabry did not shoot well. She's been one of their best players this season. She's been one of the better players in the whole league this season, especially coming up down the stretch. I know she had a few big shots at the end of the game. Diamond Shields only had 6 points, and she's meant to be one of, if not the best player on this team. But Angel Reese out here with a double-double. Williams is playing really, really well as well. So the two of them, it's going to be hard for Cardoso to come in and start because of how well Williams is playing. And as much as I do think Angel Reese has been exceptional, I can't in good faith say she's been significantly better than Williams. And I can't say that every game she's been better. In some games she's been better, in others she hasn't. And that is it is what it is. But Jewel Lloyd is one of the best players in the world. And the Storm just had a bit too much for them. I think the Storm turned them over an awful lot. And the Sky, if Mabry's not playing well, they don't have that much on offense. I'm going to be honest. They don't have that much. It's not look, as great as Angel Reese is, she's not someone who you can give the ball to and run anything through her. They don't have that much firepower on offense. They will their way to wins. They will their way into the game. They completely willed their way back into that game. From down 19, they had it back down to 4, and then Skylar Diggins hit a huge 3-point shot to kind of ice the game. But they willed their way back in. Everything was tough. It was offensive boards. Angel Reese hit a big and one that was almost I think they reviewed it, and it was the worst, the most obvious call ever. It took 2 minutes to come to the right call. But yeah, you've got a team that is just going to will their way to wins. And I do think they're going to win an awful lot of games. Like, are they going to win more games they lose this year? Probably not. I genuinely don't think so, because there's a reason why they were expected to be the worst team in the WNBA this year. Purely because like they just don't have, not that they don't have the talent, they don't have the like offensive firepower. But if you don't have the offensive firepower, you've just got to outwork teams, and they do that. So a team that's going to be the hardest working team is going to win a lot more games than expected. Again, they're not going to win every game. They're not going to be out here like, they're not going to compete for a title. Like, some people genuinely, after they beat the Liberty, like I'm seeing in my comment section, people are like, oh, Chicago Sky are winning it all. Like with Cardoso back. Look, Cardoso's a rookie. Cardoso's going to be good because he's huge. Actually, 6'7". And like we've seen how effective Yuru is at 6'7". Cardoso's 100 times better than Yuru. But it is a case where it's like, look, they're going to outwork the other team every single time they step foot on the floor. And that is what I like to see in a basketball team. Especially when, like, look, they're not going to probably outscore a lot of teams unless it's coming from their defense. But Angel Reese herself, like, I know the box score plus minus wasn't great, but she had a good game. Like, she did a really good job on Nneka, who had 10 points. She outscored her matchup. I know not everything can be just judged by looking at the box score, but she did a really good job on defense. In a really important stage in the fourth quarter, forced Nneka into a turnover. She still gets rebounds. And not only that, she like enables other players on her teams to get rebounds, because like there's almost a gravity when a shot goes up. There's like a gravity around her. Like, you've got to go and box her out. You've got to make sure that like Angel Reese is not the one to get those boards. So it is one of those situations where you're just like, okay, yeah, she's had a good game. They lost. She had a double-double. And she's definitely showing what she can do on the floor. Like, was it in anything absolutely unbelievable? No. But like, look, Angel Reese is not a stat sheet stuffer. She's not going to score to have a Caitlin Clark game where she goes like 13, 30, 6, 3 steals, 3 blocks. Like, that's just not going to happen with Angel Reese. But what Angel Reese is going to give you is, like, if you can get 10 and 10 with good defense, she had 3 assists and 2 steals as well. If you can get 10-10, 3-3 and or 10-10, 3 and 2 with a block if you're lucky, that's all you need. And like, I know she didn't shoot the greatest percentage from the field, but like, with how many of her shots literally come from her going and just getting the ball, that's not a knock on her. She's shooting well from the free throw line as well. So overall, a really, not like a great game, just a pretty decent game when we're talking about Chicago Sky. But it's always a positive. It's always a positive when young teams are competing with the vet teams. And even though like they may not every single time win the games, they're not going to win, probably not going to win more games than they lose. It's all about how good they're going to be in a few years. Like the Fever, once they fire that useless head coach and one more year, probably one more high draft pick, get off Kelsey Mitchell, bring in someone else, they're going to be a really good team. As well as that, like, you're looking at the Chicago Sky with just the way they play and the effort they play. If they're able to just add, and I think free agents are going to be interested in playing there, because if you're like a high volume offensive scorer and you're a free agent, it's going to be easy because the rest of your team are going to do all the hard work. They're going to do all the dirty work, and you're going to be able to look great. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.